Hi, and welcome to the video walkthrough for the Quick Start tool for the Dell Appliance for Wyse vWorkspace. This is for the desktop edition, which is traditional VDI. If you are interested in the application virtualization video, I have one, and I will post a link at this time so you can click on it. Now, I'm actually logged on to the appliance itself, and I'm going to click on the link on the desktop. One thing to note is that to download the file, you'll have to turn off the Internet Explorer security configuration. So please make sure that is turned off. And I'm going to scroll down on the page. This just shows you the configurations available for the appliance, the rack-based R730 as well as the tower T630. I'm going to choose my appliance, in this case vWorkspace. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and look in the resources section where the appliance architecture, deployment guide, and the rollback process is detailed. I'm going to choose the Quick Start tool or the QST. Just going to click on it to download it and save it. Just going to double click it. One thing to note is that the only requirement for this Quick Start tool to run is that Microsoft.NET 4.5 is installed. The appliance does come with that pre-installed. Going to click on Next and Install. And done. Pretty straightforward. Going to click on Finish and run the application. The other thing that I should mention is that this appliance should be joined to your domain for the Quick Start tool to work. This is the start screen for the Quick Start tool for the Dell Appliance for Wyse vWorkspace. It details the information that is needed by the Quick Start tool to set up your appliance. They include the host IP address, which is the IP address of the appliance itself, the management IP address, which is a virtual machine that will be created by the Quick Start tool. So please make sure you provide an IP address that is already not in use. Other information that you'll need is your Active Directory domain and domain name and administrative credentials, software license files and media, client operating system media, as well as the requirements for your virtual machines as far as CPU and memory goes. I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. This is the end user license agreement of the EULA page. Feel free to read through it. And you'll notice that the links are actually clickable, so if you need more information you can click on that. Once you have read the agreement, if you do agree, click on the agree checkbox and click on Next. Here's where you provide the IP addresses that the Quick Start tool will use, and I'm going to go ahead and enter in my lab information here. Once you have entered your information, select your time zone and click on Next. Now here you have to provide the domain credentials that has admin rights to the domain. So I'm just going to enter my credentials here and click on Verify Password. Password is correct and we are allowed to proceed. You should enter your software license keys here and click on Next. I'm just going to pause the video and come back as soon as I'm done. Once you've entered all the licenses, you should browse for your vWorkspace license, which I shall select, and click on Next. Also, provide the software media for Microsoft System Center as well as the Windows ADK. I'm going to choose right. I'm going to click Next. The screen shows you the information that you entered. If you do need to make a change, please go back and make the change. One thing to note is that once you hit deploy and next, the Quick Start tool will start making the changes, and the rollback process is not very user-friendly, and so rollback should be avoided as much as possible. I'm just going to go ahead and click on deploy and next. Now I'm going to select the virtual machine configuration. I'm just going to leave the standard 1 vCPU and 2 gig memory, and then the persistent type desktop. Feel free to choose the ones that are needed for your environment, and then of course you can move your slider and change the deployment size. I'm going to just leave it back at the default of 20 and click on next. Choose your ISO file. For the client operating system, I am going to choose Windows 8.1 Enterprise, and of course enter in your license information as well. One thing to note is that the time that the Quick Start tool takes, of course, depends on how many virtual machines that you choose. Each virtual machine takes about approximately 15 seconds, so 100 virtual machines is about 25 minutes. Once I have the information in, I'm going to click on next, and again review the information that you've provided, and you should click on deploy if you're satisfied, and click on next. Now this part takes a while, so I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done. But one thing to note is you'll see the progress bar here. It shows you all the steps that are taken and the ones that are remaining, so the tooltips are pretty useful. I'm going to go ahead and click on pause and come back when this is done. And we're back. It's been roughly 27 minutes, and while the Quick Start tool has not completely finished all the changes it's going to make, we do have the ability now to connect to the master virtual machine and make any changes that we need. So I'm just going to go on full screen and configure it the way I want it. I'm just going to install a application and then click on deploy. You'll notice that the steps on the right hand side are still being performed, and there's details on each and every one of them if you hover over them. Once I log into this virtual machine, I'm going to install Google Chrome for the purposes of this demo. Alright, I am going to download Google Chrome. Feel free to make all the customizations that you want, that you need, depending on your environment, the applications, and of course any other changes to the base operating system. Google Chrome's been installed, and just gonna click through the defaults here, and it's done. So I'm just going to close that and click on deploy and next. Once you do that, you'll notice that the steps that were already performed on the right are listed on the left hand side, and you'll notice that they have little arrows where you can expand them and see all the different tasks that were performed to complete that parent task. Once again, I'm going to pause the video and come back when this is done. And we're back. That was roughly about 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and click on next. Once again, if you do want to just see what the different steps taken were, you could always expand these little arrows here if you want to. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on next and finish. Of course, I can just click on the web access link here and make sure that everything was installed the way I wanted it to. I'm going to log in with my administrator credentials. And click on install. And there's the virtual machine that we created. I'm just going to close that, click on finish, and we're done. We just deployed 20 persistent virtual machines running the standard workload in just about an hour or so. I hope you found this video useful. If you are looking for the application virtualization video using the same tool, please click on the link that appears now. Thank you.